Another element that we can use for the table is the TD element. So this element defines a cell of a table that contains data. So content of table data cells is left aligned by default. So here's how you can use the TD element. So here are attributes that you can use for the TD element. So first is the call span attribute. So this specify the number of cells you want that column to span or cover. So here's how you can use call span within the TD attribute. And here is an example of that. So as you can notice here, we have 3 rows here. So this code here is for the first row with Alexa data in the first row, first column, first row. And in the second column, row 1 is the data 23. And for the second row, this is the code for that. And for the third row, as you can notice here, so this is the result of that code on which using the call span attribute within the TD attribute with a value of 2. So this covers 2 rows. So another attribute is the row span, and this specifies the number of cells you want the rows to span or cover. So here is an example of how you can use the row span. So as you can notice here, it spans 2 rows using this attribute with a value of 2. And another attribute is the headers. So this attribute contains a list of space-separated strings, each corresponding to the ID attribute of the TH elements that apply to this element. So the call group and call tags. So the first is the call group element, and this allows you to group columns in a table. It has an attribute of span that takes a positive integer value, and it specifies the number of columns you want your call group to span or cover. And the call tags is used within call group. So the call element specifies the column for each column within a call group. So the only element a call group can contain is the call tag. So it also has an attribute span that you can use to specify the number of columns you want the call element to span or cover. So let's see an example of that. Consider this table. So we can create this kind of table using the TR, TH, and TD elements. So let's say we want the name column to be in green and the age column to be orange. So we will need to use the call group and call tags to achieve styling effects, so specific to each column. So here's the code that we need for that, and this is the result. So here we use the call element with an attribute of span and a style attribute, giving it a value of green for its background color, and also with this call tag here on which the background color is orange. And we use these call tags inside the call group element.